Okay, so where the sorry, I was recording in progress. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Conquer the Clutter podcast for this December what is it? The 18th. That means next week is Christmas Day. So today we are going to fine tune moving forward into choosing the likeliest candidates that are the best fit for us each. Anybody who is looking to set up a clutter buddy arrangement with another person. And as you can see off to the right here, I have 8 breakout rooms and they are labeled according to the type. So introvert, extrovert, sensing versus feeling, judging versus whatever it is. We're going to go through here. And then, as I said a minute ago, the top 2 strongest descriptions that fit how you see yourself, go to that room. All right. It'll be labeled. Each of them are broken down into introvert, extrovert, judging, sensing, intuitive, perceiving. Go to the strongest one. And the reason I want you to do that is you are most likely to meet your own type in that room. All right. So you have more in common with the people who are in that room. And then talk among yourselves, see what you can garner from getting to know each other. The other thing, too, is before we do that, has anybody actually decided that they would prepare a resume? What types they are? I got some things like this. Okay. Some people did. And therefore, what you need in a clutter buddy and what you have to offer your clutter buddy. All right. Because that's a good way to start. All right. So we're going to build on the last 3 podcasts. And today we're going to break out into, as I said a minute ago, designated rooms. You're going to meet people who see themselves like you see yourself. And you're going to see if we can develop a short list, each of you, for potential clutter buddies. And then you may want to make arrangements to see if chatting offline, you have a compatible relationship. Remaining aware that even the right clutter buddy is going to be different from you and will also have similar and different needs from yours. So you're not looking for the Bobbsey twins match. You're looking for this person pretty much sees the world reasonably like I do, and they are aware that this is not a codependent relationship that we're trying to set up. This is a relationship built on the strength of knowing what our strengths are, as well as what our blind spots are. All right. Okay, so let's get started. Very brief review of personality types for those people who may not have finished their homework. And therefore, different strengths and blind spots. That's what this is about. Identifying your type so that you have a better, clearer idea. What are your strengths? Even if you haven't called them strengths, ever. And what are your blind spots? Because it's that mix, right, that makes up who we are. All right, so the breakout rooms are going to be labeled accordingly. I think I said that, and I want each of you to feel comfortable moving from room to room. Now, we're not saying shopping through types that aren't anything like you, all right? But you're trying to find that combination that most meets both what you need and what you have to offer. Okay. And it's all according to how you see yourself. All right. So your best choice will require a stretch. Count on that. And the stretch will be to navigate the differences with others that you think apply to you. So deep breath, here we go. If you see yourself as the following, demonstrates energy and enthusiasm, that's just your personality type. All right. Quick responses, you're quick to respond. You act quickly, often before thinking. And more often than not, it works out. You can talk and think at the same time, not something everybody can do. You're bored if activities take a long time or they drag on or they're slow. All right. Talk a lot. And that's not a fault. Just recognize it in yourself. You're seen as having lots of friends. All right. You learn by interaction and hearing. Your representational system of the world is strongly auditory. Okay? Shares emotions and thoughts in the moment. Um, can multitask, jumps from one thought to another. Now, in this multitasking, nobody said that the multitasking is also always successful. All right. But you multitask and you jump from one thought to another and often one project to another. You give overviews about a subject. You're not a detailed, dive deep kind of person. You're likely an extrovert. If a number of those pertain to you, you're likely more extrovert. Okay. That means that your energy is coming from the outside world, your interaction with people, your interaction with the outside world. That's where you get your energy. All right. Okay. Or you need to know the person. All right. Before any trust is allowed. You relate to others one on one. You're not as comfortable at all. It's not that you can't do groups, but you're not as comfortable in groups. You think for a long time, all right, and then you decide whether to act. You're comfortable working or playing alone. You enjoy learning visually. So, uh, sorry, reading is and integrating information visually is your representational system. That's how you process. All right. All right. So reading instructions, for instance, you're somebody who's more likely to want to keep things to themselves. You hesitate before trying something new. You have a few close friends and you prefer when you're working, you prefer that it's a quiet environment. You appear to bottle up, you hold on to emotions. You, unlike the extrovert, are more likely to think about topics really deeply. All right. You're thinking really deeply before going on to the next topic. You really like to know and digest before. You're not somebody who is satisfied with just the superficial. Okay. You're not likely to volunteer information in groups by speaking up. You hold your energy internally. You're more likely to be an introvert. All right. So, how many of those did you tick? And do they exceed the previous list considerably? There may be a mix between them, but it's what you are mostly like. All right. All right. Now let's look at the sensing types. Your awareness and your development of meaning of things comes through your senses. We have many senses. So it's like you filter things through visually, auditory, tactile, sense, smell, taste, all right, kinesthetic. So it comes through your senses and it comes through step by step. So you learn things and integrate things in layers. You're practical. You're a practical person. If it doesn't work, it doesn't matter. All right. It doesn't count if it doesn't work. When the rubber hits the road, it's got to be working. That's your motto. All right. You're also much more likely to be realistic. You're not as likely to be a dreamer, an imaginer. Right? It's not that you don't do that. That's not where you put your strong suit. You need to hear the overall idea or the big picture first before you want to start digging down and learning more. Your work, when you do it, is done in spurts. Right? It's not done in an even scheduled flow. Right? You work and play in fits and starts. Now, the fit may be slow. The start, when you start, you do commit to a task and you do your best to complete it. All right. You enjoy learning new things and you enjoy being different. You have no problem not technically fitting in. All right. When you're looking at the big picture first, you're doing it with a vivid imagination. All right. And you often lose things, largely because of that pattern of behavior of going quickly from one thing to another. Is this sounding like anybody? These are sensing traits. So think of yourself, like a bloodhound, sensing how they are looking and they are filtering through their senses. Okay. Intuitive folks still perceive, they still integrate information, they understand, they develop themselves, but they do it through their intuition. All right. They're not doing it through their perception, they're intuiting, and they're comfortable doing that. They trust that. These folks, if it's any of you, are more likely to be not the here and now, but futuristic and visionary. You have your eye on the horizon. All right. You ask why a lot. You really want to understand the whys of things. All right. You insist on logical explanations. If it isn't logical, it's just guess and golly. You like to arrange things in an orderly pattern. Order and logic make you feel really happy, really secure. All right. You show more interest in ideas than you do in people. It's not that you don't like people or you don't relate to people, but when push comes to shove, you're much more excited about ideas than people. You are somebody who really stresses fairness. Right? You love recognition when you do things well. We all like it, but some of us like it, we can take it or leave it. All right. We're more internal locus of control than external locus of control. So in this way, this is a mix, right? All right. When you have a belief, you hold a belief strongly. You do a lot of thinking about things. You're not a jump at it kind of person, right? When you're communicating in whatever form, you're brief and you're concise, all right? And you can appear critical, clipped, all right? But you also appear calm in a crisis. You make decisions based on what you see as objective, verifiable thinking processes. All right. They have to be they have to be logical and they have to be provable. And you do that through the observation and they are objective. When you're making an opinion or a decision that is negative towards someone else, it's not personal. It's because that's the logical thing to do. All right. These folks are thinking types. Are you a thinking type? To what degree are you each of these? All right. Nobody's just one thing. Okay. Now, if you have to really know the other person before trusting them, you like to talk or read about people. This is a new type. You have to really know the person before trusting them. You really like to read about people. Um, you want recognition for the care you give others. You really need to be recognized. All right. You want to help if somebody's unhappy. You're expressive. You're detailed as a storyteller. People love to hear your stories. Okay. You aim to be tactful, even when you're not. You wouldn't deliberately try to hurt somebody's feeling. You're almost certainly not passive aggressive. All right. You need acknowledgement, though. All right. And you need acknowledgement about being loved and cared for. If you don't get acknowledgement, it somehow feels kind of uncertain and vaporous that you're loved and cared for. You relate well to people. You're likely to make decisions based on personal feelings. Okay? These are feeling types. How much are you a feeling type? Or, next one, you really like timetables. All right. And you are not a last minute change kind of person. You like to know what is going to happen in the future. And you're able to predict that because of your organization. You have developed things step by step in a logical way, in a timely way, and it's easier to predict with some sort of credibility. Not perfect, but you're good at that. You enjoy choices and closure. Those hanging on details make you crazy. All right. You give timeliness to yourself. So you give yourself the time you need because you have factored it into the schedule and the timetable. Right? You really like to set goals. That's the way you step by step help yourself move forward. You have you have opinions, and your opinions are definite opinions. You hold them strongly. You do best with deadlines. All right. Now, this is not necessarily that I do nothing and then the deadline is midnight and, I'm up till 4 o'clock in the morning meeting the midnight deadline. Yeah, that's not the kind of deadline we're talking about because remember, these people are orderly, they're organized, they they have chunks of time that they have deadlines. So they probably have more than like kind of repeated step-by-step deadlines. They like to be in charge, all right? They like to make decisions and continue on with whatever task they were working on, all right? They like to meet somebody at a precise time. Again, deadlines, all right? They're not good at sort of vague flexibility. They don't do well with vague. No, what is it? What is it? That's definite. It's in the schedule. I know what I'm doing. I know when I have to do it. People with these traits are more likely to be judging types. How much, to what degree, are you a judging type? And typically, they prefer life to be orderly and well planned, right? They do not do well with chaos, crisis, or improvisation. They do not improvise well. All right. All right. Last but not least, and the reason I'm doing this is because I want you to choose the right breakout room. Okay. If you like spontaneity and you are a curious individual, you become energized through new ideas and through new experiences. All right. You're not afraid of change. You're not afraid of the unknown to the same degree as other types. You do have difficulty with deadlines, all right? Some people do. And you often misperceive work as play. It's great when you can turn your work into play. All right. Not always possible. You appear open to new ideas, which is a good thing. You really like and are comfortable with new ideas. You rush to meet deadlines. You know there are deadlines. You try to respect them. However, you have to rush quite often to meet them. And you quite often do. You're the person who, if the deadline is midnight tonight or is 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, at midnight, you're the one meeting that deadline. All right. You like to get more information. You can't get enough information before making a decision. You like options. You're not good with limited structure. All right. You enjoy autonomy. You do not like to be bossed around. You do not like to be second guessed. You do not really relish other people's unsolicited input. All right. So you're not dependent on anyone. All right. And no one is dependent on you. You really like autonomy. That doesn't mean you're alone. It just means you are a person unto yourself, and each man has to carry their own load. Right? It's not that you're not personable. You often experience the need for still more information before making a decision. So you find making decisions difficult because that need for more information almost feels limitless. All right. You can see how that works with a deadline. You like to see, if you're going to make a date with somebody, it's going to be in the realm of this time, not at a time. So sometime tomorrow. All right. You don't need to see the people you want imminently. So some people, when they decide that they want to be together with somebody, it's got to be imminent. All right. For you, that kind of open flow happens when it happens. These are some of the traits of perceiving people. All right. So to what degree are you a perceiving type? And typically perceiving people like a lifestyle that's flexible and allows it to be spontaneous. All right. So we have 5 minutes. Okay. So just to summarize, our types are extrovert versus introvert. Right now, put down which you are more of and how strong that is. When I did this test, I discovered I'm actually an introvert. But all of my measures were within a very short distance of the center. All right. So which one are you more like? And to what degree? Sensing versus intuiting. All right. Which one are you? And which one? And when you choose that one, to what degree? Are you a thinker or a feeler? Which one are you? And how strongly? Are you a judger or a perceiver? Right. Which one are you and to what degree? All right. So we now have 8 breakout rooms. I have chosen that people can choose their own room. What I would like to do is have people choose their rooms, and then I'm going to circulate myself around the rooms and just see how things are going. You can have open discussions. You can ask questions. You can do anything you want. And we're going to do that for about 15 minutes. So we have 8 rooms. We have about, it doesn't sound like a lot of time, but we have 2 or 3 minutes. We can go a little overtime today if we need to. say no more than 5 minutes in each room that we want to be in. And when you know what you need to know, come on back to the main podcast. All right. All right. Do I see? All right. So Barb and Shauna have already chosen. Okay. Anybody else? You think I posted it on a different URL? No, I don't think so. You don't see the link anymore. You don't see the link.
On a phone, the breakout room symbol existed early on, but it's been gone for a while.
I'm looking, it says breakout rooms not started. I'm sorry. I'm a new kid on the block.
It just showed up
Okay.
again.
Wow, because I chose the right button. All right. See, you can't be good at everything. Okay. Find your room, folks.
Okay, here we go. Introverts. Join.
Okay.
Okay, just a quick question. How are we choosing the rooms when, like, each of those categories is like a separate of 4?
You're strongest because if I did introvert, extrovert, I'm already deciding which type you are. So there are 8 different types. Choose the one that is the strongest for you. If you are definitely 80% extrovert.
Oh no, I know what I am. Like I'm an ENTP, INTP, but like these are all like you have to choose between like introvert, extrovert is one category, and then sensing, intuiting is one category. So how do we say like we're all thinking like we're
So
you know
there should be 8 rooms here.
yeah.
I see.
Like I'm an INTP, but then I have to pick like just the I.
Yeah, because that's your strongest.
It's not. I mean, I
Okay, don't struggle with it. How do you see yourself the strongest? Never mind how you got identified before. When I read those characteristics, those traits, where did you see yourself the strongest? And
I've
go.
never had to divide between 8. I've always just had like you lump all 4 of the categories together.
You don't. So
One.
don't. So
Yeah.
I'm asking you, never mind what somebody classified you as. All right. But when I read those characteristics, which ones did you go, oh, I have 6 of 8 on that one? Yes, I have 3 of in the others, but this is the strongest. Start there because it wouldn't be responsible, Christine, for me to do a Myers-Briggs with any kind of authenticity on a podcast. And so what we're trying to do is garner the information for ourselves and say, you know what? I am definitely strongest extrovert. I have 3 or 4 other types, but that's my strongest. I tick the most boxes there. Okay, so.
I'm gonna have to read the list.
Okay, I'm going to see if I can join.
I'm probably a thinking type if I'm over analyzing this, aren't I?
Yeah, maybe, and that's okay. That's their strength. Okay, so a number of people haven't joined.
How do we join? How do we
Okay.
join?
So there should be a link with each of these titles on it.
In the chat?
No, I don't think I think it would be on the screen, wouldn't it? Does anybody? I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing breakout rooms here. So
it's on my screen, and it you just click the breakout room and go to the room. I was in a room, but nobody joined, so I came back to the main session for a bit.
Okay. Which means you're unique if nobody joined. Okay, so Barbara, Brenda, Brian, Christina, Galaxy Tab, Nora, Peter, Shirley, Sunday. Did you tick any boxes when I was reading them? Do you have a sense of?
Well, I thrive in chaos. I mean, I don't really thrive in chaos, but chaos is what I've got. So that's my strong thing right now. So I don't know where to click.
Okay, so you probably would want to come about it the other way. It isn't so much what you have created, because that can be due to circumstances, right?
Yeah.
Rather than how you see yourself. Internally, how do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as an extrovert, like you like to make friends, you socialize, and you really get off on that? Or
Yes.
are you more of an introvert, like I like people, but I like them in small batches?
Right.
Sensing, um, I'm not going to intuit something with no evidence. That doesn't have that validity for me. I'm more of somebody who senses that there is some kind of observable evidence that this is what I should do or want to do. And or are you somebody who, even when you pick up all the information through your sensory, you need to sit back and you need to really think about it. It has to make sense. You've got kind of an objective criteria. Okay, what's the proof that this is real? Or do you go up by your gut? Some people trust their gut because their gut gives them good results. So I don't worry about what the numbers are, what the stats are on this, or even the evidence. If I get a feeling that that's it, I go with it. Judging is, are you very structured? Are now some people who are very structured and very organized end up to their ears in clutter. All right, because they also tend to be perfectionists and they keep missing the ability to do the little thing that adds up over time, that accomplishes what they need to, and they're overwhelmed and it shuts them down. All right. Or perceiving is, I'm not going to judge you, I'm not going to judge a situation, but if it makes sense to me by my criteria, that's what I'm going to choose. But it's not dreaming and, imaginary. It's that, no, my senses, I'm perceiving, and there's enough evidence for me that this makes sense. So it's not about the chaos that you're living in. It's one of the ways to get out of the chaos you're living in, if you're interested in having a clutter buddy. Good. All right.
I don't see where you choose the groups. I don't see any select room.
On your screen, there should be people. Is it a link or what? Because it looks different on mine. Christina, what is it? Can you unmute yourself and help us?
Okay. It says join a breakout room, and it's a little black bar on the bottom of your picture on the
Okay.
right-hand side, sort of.
Does that help?
I have to go to
Although I can't get into it, I don't think. It just says that. I'm not sure if I can get into it. Let me see if I can. I don't understand. No, now it just disappeared. When I clicked on it, it just disappeared.
Because I've got people in the perceiving, I've got people in the judging, I've got people in the feeling, thinking, extrovert and introvert.
I'll look again. I'm not the techie in the group. I think that's Christine might be the techie. I'll look again to see if I can figure out how to get in.
I'm going to go into the rooms and just see how things are going and ask people how they joined because I don't have the same cues as you do.
Click on the screen to the left where Elaine is.
On the screen to the left where I am.
Just anywhere on the left, and the options will pop up. I have a Galaxy tab.
Okay,
Mm.
does that help?
Sorry, in her picture, do you mean?
Just to the left of her where she's talking, just tap on the left in the upper area or mid area, and you should see some options.
Thank you. I'll see if I can do that.
Just a tap on the screen. It worked for me.
Okay. I guess other people have figured it out. I'm not good techie. I'm not a techie person at all, so I don't.
If you're in the chat, it won't work. So get back to the screen where Elaine is talking and tap to the left.
Okay, that's maybe the problem. Okay, because I did have the chats on to figure out what I might be. Okay, so let me try and get that. Thank you. Thank you, whoever you are. You are very helpful. No, that didn't work either.
You just need a little tap.
Elaine's gone now. Her picture's gone, and I have a hand that's
She's
up on
going
the
on
left-hand side.
She's missing on mine too.
Okay, thank you, Barbara. Yeah, I'm lost.
Right.
Oh, wait. I just saw her. There she is.
Here, yes. So now I thought that I would go to the oh, that's not it. Now I thought I would go to the extrovert room. Where am I?
And could you explain one more time how to get in? Because I'm having difficulty getting into any room.
Tap on the upper left-hand side, and you should see recording, switch camera, breakout room, switch to gallery view. Those four little icons should appear on the upper left as you tap. I'm tapping on you right now, and that's to the left of you, and I've seen that, but it goes away very quickly.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
What I ended up doing was at the very bottom of the page, there's a whole line of things there, and one of them says join a breakout room.
Yeah.
So that's how I got there. It's just got things like audio.
Oh, I see it. More.
That's right. Yeah.
More.
That's where.
More didn't work
got
for
it.
me, but
Got it. So which room are you going to?
Breakout rooms. Oh, I see. Thank you. That was really helpful with the more.
Yeah, I've never had to do all that myself. Usually the people that I do this with, they throw us in the room and we go back. So
Right. Are we in the main room now or are we?
we are in the main room. Yep.
Okay.
Everybody's not back yet.
I see. Patricia, I like your painting wall. I think those are
Oh,
beautiful.
Barbara, we can't hear you.
So our little extrovert group will communicate with Kim on Facebook Messenger.
Yeah.
Sounds.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
can start a group chat once I have, Barbara, if you message me on there, then I'll have your last name. I'm not sure how many people are in our group with that, with your first name.
Right. Okay, sure.
And I have, let's see. Yeah. So if you guys can send me a message first, then
Yeah.
I'll try to do a group chat and we
Oh.
can figure out a date and time.
That's great. What was the name of the test that you said your employer asked you to do every few years?
They have done a couple. Let's see. I think I have it in with my
Is it
401k.
called the I
information.
think something?
It's not Briggs Meyer.
Yes. I think that's the one that does these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never actually taken that test.
Yeah.
It's
And
fu-
it's one to take with a bit of a grain of salt in terms of like in terms of the personality research in like the field of psychology. Personality constructs that come up very reliably aren't exactly like the Briggs-Meyer ones. They're useful constructs to think about how we are, but there's other ones too, like yeah, it's a neat one to kind of get insight about how you operate.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I don't
funny that you
remember the
brought
name of
up
the other
the INTJ because that's what I remember being when I took the test.
I can't believe I remember that. It's like remembering old phone numbers or your combination for your locker in high school.
Yeah, because I was surprised at a couple, like I was surprised at the thinking piece versus feeling, and I was surprised at the introvert versus extrovert. So it stuck with me.
I use Chat GPT all day long just to get information like this quickly, so I threw those, can you tell me a little bit about each of these types, and boom, it pulled up the whole Myers-Briggs summary for me, and then I copied and pasted it into the chat for the people that couldn't be here
Oh, that's so nice of
last
you.
week. So
Well, what were you when you did the test?
I just buzzed through it. I'm definitely a little bit of everything. I'm kind of all over the place, but I definitely like schedules, planning. So that was like judging, I think. Like I like a schedule. I don't like fly by the seat of your pants anything. I spend a ton of time researching everything under the sun. So, I think I'm definitely judging because that was like structure, organization, and clear plans. That's so me. I can't even stand it sometimes. And they used to call me the schedule, not, well, I probably shouldn't say that word, but I like a schedule.
I found I was like, I could relate to all, and then the ones I couldn't relate to that I actually am, it's kind of like I aspire to be more like.
I love your paintings, Patricia.
Mhm.
They're beautiful. Did you do them?
The frames. Incredible.
Oh, you're muted.
Oh, we can.
They're so pretty.
There. Am I muted or not?
No,
Not
we can hear you
anymore.
now.
Not anymore. This one was given to a great uncle of mine when he retired in Finland
Oh,
in 1947.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. So,
You can tell the
yeah.
frames have a beautiful.
yes, isn't it lovely? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
lovely. Yeah, yeah.
I love
Yeah, I don't know
paintings.
anything about it other than that. I don't know whether it's, it could be holding a masterpiece for all I know, but
Mhm.
A
I don't-
Picasso in your living room.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know where everybody else is. Where are they all?
Can I ask?
Yeah, where
is
is
this
that?
is this the main meeting now, or am I still in
It
the
is.
breakout room?
It is. Everybody's got to
Oh.
come back. And I don't think
Oh.
everybody knows how to do all this. I just learned how to do it today.
Oh.
So usually they
Right.
put you in a breakout room and they suck you back in. And this is the
Right.
first time I've had to do it myself. So very thankful for the people that told us how to do it in the chat.
Mhm.
And I'm really glad I'm not on my phone because I never would have been able to do it from my phone.
Oh.
Could barely do it on my
No,
computer.
it's tricky on the phone. Oh, right. Because I
Are
went
you
to
on your-
look in another room when I came back, and there was nobody in 2 rooms I looked in. There was nobody there. So
Which
when I went in,
ones?
when I went into extroverts, I was like the only one. I'm like, oh, I hope I'm not the only one in here. And then everybody joined. I was like, okay, I'm not by myself anymore.
But
It's-
have I
you know-
got the correct understanding that we're looking for opposites in each of the areas? Is that what Elaine's saying, that will work better?
No. She felt that if there's
No?
more of a fit, if there's more similarity, it would work better.
Ah,
Yeah. There's similarity, but to also not be so similar that you miss out on your blind spots. So that,
right.
yeah, so to not be like carbon copies of each other. so that you can,
Yeah.
wherever your weaknesses go, travel there together, but to kind of find a good fit where it's the
Yeah.
similarities without, missing out on being
Yeah.
able to catch or address weaknesses.
Yeah, similarities with individual uniqueness, I guess.
And the time zone thing is helpful too. So like,
Mhm.
like we're all in Eastern time or whatever.
Yeah.
That's easy. I hate it.
So,
Netflix.
are you sort of 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, midday now?
Yep, we're noon right now. Okay, I'm gonna mute. Elaine's here.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
I hope everybody else's groups were as that went as well as ours. I hope everybody this was great for.
What
I know,
group
so
were
much
you
fun.
in? The
So,
last one?
so why don't we unmute? And I'll just go around and ask how well this worked and what the next steps are that you think would be helpful for the people who are interested. Are you interested in a Clutter Buddy? And what do you think would be the best way to move forward? All right. Okay, so who do we have here? Patricia. You came in a little later. Did you get into any one of the breakout rooms?
I did. Yes, thank you. I wasn't sure what was going on, but I would like to hear more about Clutter Buddies. It sounds lovely. And
Okay.
right now I've lost a very favorite Christmas card that is buried somewhere in my stuff and I can't find it. And maybe if I had a Clutter Buddy, I would be more organized and wouldn't have lost it. I know it's in my home, but I can't for the life of me find it.
Okay. So on the Clutter Buddy information, go back to the last 3 podcasts.
Yes.
Listen to those so you bring yourself catch up. And then you're going to be part of the discussion now about how to move forward. So I'll move on. If you would mute yourself, Patricia, I'll move on to Wendy.
Yeah, I was in with the extroverts, and it's kind of, we actually all are in a same Facebook group together and have had some kind of comments or interaction in some way before, it looks like. And our next steps, we are interested in Clutter Buddying as a little group, and we're gonna get in touch with each other via Messenger because we have access to each other there.
Good. Good.
Yeah, that was great. Thank you so much for this
Welcome.
chat.
And Barbara, I guess Barbara's next. You have to unmute yourself.
Oops. I'm in Wendy's group and we're going to get together.
Okay,
The 4 of us.
So you're
Yeah.
an extrovert as
Or
well.
5 of us, yes. But
Okay.
you know what? It worked out nicely because, and we're going to work. We're going to pay attention to if we're being too, if we're over focused on that.
Okay.
We want balance.
Yes, you do. Anne, were you in the extrovert group?
I was. I started in the introvert group and I didn't feel like I was an introvert, even though I related to some of those characteristics. So felt right at home in the extrovert group right away.
Okay.
I was not planning to have a Clutter Buddy because I've had accountability partners before, and the one-on-one didn't really feel like it worked. It kind of devolved into our blind spots and more relating and doing. So I was coming into it wanting to be open to learning, but now I feel gung-ho about the
Yeah, so
idea that we're going to have a group, not just one-on-one right
That is an
now.
option too. However, one of the things that I really don't like is the term accountability buddy. All right. No, you're accountable to yourself. And the very fact that the focus is accountability is a negative. You'll show up for yourself. You'll show up for others. And that's why I think Clutter Buddy sets a whole different tone.
Right.
There's a commonality and your buddies on it. And it sounds as though the extrovert group kind of coalesced around organizing something for themselves. So that's
Right.
great.
Yeah.
So Kim, you're in the extrovert group as well?
There we go.
Is there another Kim, or are you
Yes.
talking to me?
Oh, is there two Kims? I don't even
Yeah,
know.
I'll
Yes,
let you
there
go.
is two Kims. Yay, two Kims. Yes. We all know each other from many different sources, but yep, everybody's in my other Facebook group, so we can message each other there and figure out a good date and time to meet. Most of us are in other groups, you know, where we work together. So it's funny to see everybody here. I love it.
That's good. That's good. Okay, DJ, did you get, you were in which group?
I was in, initially I joined the thinking group, and there was 4 of us, and we all found we were all neurodivergent, which is incredible. Unfortunately, my social worker was here at the time, and I had to leave prematurely, so I didn't get connected up properly
Okay.
because I needed to go and talk to him. But that was fascinating. That we just seem to. Some people were saying that they just have this radar that we seem to know that we've connected with somebody that is neurodivergent.
That's good. Now, the other people who were in the group, could you put your hand up or finger up or whatever? Okay. And was there any interest in making a group of that?
I feel like in true ADHD fashion, we just kind of just socialized and enjoyed each other's company. Didn't actually plan anything.
Okay. So let's spend a few minutes right now. Yay or nay, no judgment of anything. DJ, do you feel that being a clutter buddy with the other members of that group would be a positive thing or not?
I don't know at the moment. I haven't given it enough thought.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
You did say you're a thinker, yes.
Yes.
You know your people.
Oh, I think we just proved that DJ is a thinker. That's perfectly okay. So who else was in the group? Christine, you are as well?
Yeah, Christine, Jane, I think we had Susan was there.
Okay.
I was there too.
Okay, all right, good. So, hands up, the people who were in that group who would like to have a clutter buddy, they already know it, and would like to either make a group, or if your scheduling is difficult, it probably is a little easier if it's not quite a number of people. So, Jane, are you interested in a clutter buddy?
Yes, absolutely. I felt like we might have benefited from having a bit more time to chat because some people came in quite late. And, you know, if I can see how, like, if there's too many people, maybe, you know, if there's enough of us, maybe we could make a couple of groups or something like that. But, you know, if there was some way that we could have a chat, you know, we could maybe make a chat in WhatsApp or some app like that where one person can go. Oh, okay, perfect. You know, where someone can kind of drop in there when they want to do something, and if other people see someone's in there, they can join. You know, so there could be some sort of impromptu stuff, but then people can also obviously have discussions and make other arrangements that are more specific if they're good at that.
Yeah, one thing,
Yeah.
one thing that could work, in a slightly more direct way, than impromptu, would be if what was there, how many people were in that group? Just the numbers?
1, 2, 3, 4.
I think there were 7 or 8, maybe
7 or
8.
Okay. If the 7 or 8 people at the next podcast could get together, all right, in a breakout room, same 7 people, and just compare schedules. and pick a time slot like we do for the podcast. All right. And then anybody who is available or can make themselves available, the understanding is this is a clutter buddy. You're not just getting together, you're not largely getting together to chat. You're getting together because you want to work on something, and you will be working while you're meeting. Would that work? So the day and time is affixed. And the other great thing about that is it increases the probability that you can organize yourself to leave that time free. Yes, Shirley. Yeah. Oh, you're muted.
Every time we change, yeah. Are you saying that the way it will work is that we stay connected throughout a preset period on a preset schedule while we're working? Because if you're sorting papers, I see that as, I don't know.
Yeah, you're sitting there with your papers. You bring your papers to you, all right? Or you go to where the papers are and set up your phone or your laptop, and you're meeting while you're running into difficulty saying, you know, I can't figure out whether this is a keep or a go. How many people here think it's important enough that has anybody run into trouble if they let this kind of paper go? Or I'm struggling with this and I could use some input. And I do that all the time. I do it as far away as Tokyo with people.
The decision process is the toughest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the toughest.
It is. And you know what? Being able not to have somebody else decide, but somebody else who is framed the same way you are. You have a commonality already. All right. And that's a foundation for a better understanding. And say, has anybody had this problem? Could you give me some feedback? It's not you're going to make the decision. All right. Or I don't know what to do. I'm struggling. We all struggle at sometimes. But you set the day and time, and then you join. This is sort of like a date with each other. And if something is particularly difficult, you can set it aside and say Monday at 10 o'clock or Monday at noon or whatever it is. I'm going to ask the group about this and get some feedback and make the best decision I can.
Well, sometimes it's not so much whether to keep it, but how to organize it and then actually organizing. Yeah. So,
Same thing, who has had trouble figuring out how to organize this? And somebody somewhere is going to, somebody somewhere is going to have an idea that didn't work. That'll save you trouble. All right. And somebody may have struggled far enough ahead of you that they said, well, you know, it's not the perfect solution, but this works. This works for me. And at least then you can say, okay, would that possibly work for me?
So I'm gonna go out on a limb here, if it's okay. And thank you. And say that the idea to me of, I mean, as a way of touching base and sort of deciding, you know, how to move forward, I would be delighted to be in touch with the people in the group, just to have kind of a, you know, like I said, just spend a bit more time with them. And, you know, maybe there'd be like a few people in particular that would most kind of gel with me as clutter buddies. And then from there, we could kind of choose what works well for us. For me, like a set time once a week or something is it would be completely not what I want as an end product, because for me, I spend a lot of time doing it and it really helps me to have company. And it doesn't mean we have to be talking. It doesn't mean we need each other's advice even. It's nice to have, you know, there could be silent periods, there can be, but just someone there doing it. It's like, yeah, it's just that body doubling thing like that. So it gives me that extra.
Just some tight against my legs. I use those towels in between my legs.
Okay. Okay. And so the other thing too, though, about that, Jane, is that you can start out as a group, and then you can identify each other who have a different ideal setup. All right, that you can. That's not the final story, but if you have a day and time that you start out with, that's not to say that if there are 6 people in that group, you don't end up with 2 groups, 3 groups of 2, because you develop in and you identify that works better for
Yeah,
you.
that sounds
Going to
great.
be-
Sort of
Yeah.
see where it goes.
Yeah. Well, and who you're sort of on the same timetable, same wavelength with. All right.
I'm the same way too. I like the idea of having the company, and yes, I'm bad as far as setting a schedule for me. I don't know what it's tough, but yeah, just having a little bit of company, and you could drop in and then maybe take it from there. Yeah.
So drop in and take it from there. Yes, that would be in the group and take
Yes.
it from there. Yeah. And, for people who really don't like to schedule things, you always show up for the Wednesday morning.
Yeah. It's a must.
So sometimes it's not a preference, all right? But it is a possibility that adds continuity to the actions you want to take.
Yeah.
Okay. And how is that for the other groups? The who did we
Elaine,
have for sensing into?
can I ask you a question? It's Kim here. Can I ask a question?
Yes.
So I kind of didn't have time to explore all the groups because I was sitting and listening. I wasn't doing a lot of input. And then I kind of ran out of time because I identified with a few things. So I didn't get a thorough enough feel, like how I forgot the lady's name that said before that she
Okay.
identified as introvert, and then when she went into the extrovert, she realized, she could feel it within herself. Oh, that felt more me, and that's what I'm worrying about now. Is that I didn't get a chance to even look at all the ones that had the duality with the pairs.
Okay.
So I'm just wondering, is there any more time to figure it out?
Yeah, sure. What we can do, I can't dedicate every podcast to clutter buddying because not everyone
No.
wants to come. But we could do, I mean, next week we're not going to have one. It's Christmas Day.
Yeah.
And what does it mean for the next? Just so.
New Year's Day.
Oh, I have to share something with you guys.
What is it? Go for it. What is it?
I just got an email from somebody that I'm working with who is in the most extreme situation you've ever seen. Has no heat, has no hot water, has vermin. And she said, we've been working together now for about, maybe 3 weeks. And she said, so-and-so is coming at 8 tomorrow morning to do the measurements for the hot water tank. And I am super excited.
That's brilliant.
Can you
That's
imagine?
awesome.
And having to go to work under those conditions. All right. Like she carries 2 jobs. She works 2 jobs, one after the other, 6 days a week.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So you can get there, people, as difficult as it seems, as insurmountable as I'm going to cry, insurmountable as it seems, you can get there. All right. Just don't give up. Don't give
Baby
up.
steps.
Well, baby steps, but also, you know what? Sometimes you just need to step over it. All right. You need to say, that's not my ideal situation, like getting together at one time. But it's a start. From there, you can build what does work for you. Okay. So the next podcast, Sorry, the next podcast is, I just want to see what we're done to the, okay. Oh, we got a problem there. We got a problem. So watch out for the next notice, because it won't be on a Wednesday, because that's New Year's. So 3 weeks is too long to leave this. It'll, so there won't be one next week, but watch out for the date of the next one. All right. And what we'll do is we will do one full podcast. I won't be doing the presentation. We will be in the rooms hashing it out, what works. Okay.
So we're going to talk more about like how to design the Clutter
Absolutely.
Buddy stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yay. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Christina.
Thank you. Unfortunately I won't be there for that big hashing out because we travel out of province to see family. So I won't be back until 3 weeks. So I won't be back, I believe, till the 8th.
Okay, we'll fill you in. You won't miss
Okay.
out. You won't.
That
miss-
helps.
We'll record it. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, Colleen.
In my group, a bunch of us were struggling because we missed the past few sessions, so we really didn't know what we were supposed to be doing. Could you post the sessions related to the Clutter Buddy so that we can catch up?
I will get a hold of Braden and ask him to put them up temporarily as they are. And then he'll have to take them down to edit, because I'm sure there were some goofs for me, I mispronounced something or stubbed my toe and swore. I don't know.
Yeah, but we don't really care about that.
Yeah, but people don't.
You're fine just the way you are.
I mean, yeah, what we hear in the podcast is, or in the Zoom is perfect. But where do we find them? Is that the hoarding.ca?
Yeah, it'll be I'll tell Braden just put them up, or I'll tell Shalom just put them up. But they're only going to be up for about 3 weeks. Okay, then they've got to come down and they've got to be
It's
professional.
hoarding.ca/podcast.
You go to more, you go to webcast recordings, and then there's like 157 of them there.
Okay.
Good.
Elaine, it's Anne. I just want to thank you so much for all of your help. It's been really life-changing, and wish you the most wonderful holiday.
Thank
Indeed.
you.
Thank you.
And to everyone, have a really great holiday season.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you, Anne.
Thank you.
Be good.
Yes,
Bye.
thank you, Anne.
Elaine, do you have people that
Thank you.
have trouble with their paper organizing? Or
Papers at the top of the list.
is there certain groups that you could kind of line us up with, or not really line us up, but that maybe we could talk to it? That could be a possible,
Yeah.
Clutter
What I'm
Buddy.
just building on that, actually, out of this, there are 10 most notable things that people stumble over. All right. And I think I'm going to take about 3 of the big ones, paper being the top. And I think I'm going to do a group starting sometime in late January, February, on managing paper. Yeah, managing.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Oh,
my God.
deadly.
And the other will be managing clothing. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Managing recycling.
You're speaking my language now.
Really?
Sure.
That
You
sounds
know the
great.
problem areas.
Yeah. Yes, Shirley. You're muted. You're muted.
This session was recorded. Is it going to be posted?
It will be posted. I will ask Shalom to do it as soon as, the only thing you have to know is it's recorded, but your faces are on it.
And names, yeah.
Well, some have a name, some have an ID.
Yeah, I know.
Some have a phone number, some have a, if it goes up that quickly, it can't be edited. That's the only thing. Okay.
You could also put it in like a Google Dropbox with the only people with the link can access it, because that might be easier. If
Yeah,
you put it on your email that way, then it'll
I
only
would
be available to those.
I
with the link.
I would have to learn how to do that, and that in itself would be a delay.
I can help. I
Where's it-
got a Google Drive I use all the time. So.
Were the breakout rooms recorded as well? How would that?
No, they're not.
work?
Only when I was there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just curious.
Okay, everyone, make it a good one.
Happy holiday. everyone.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays.
Thank you so much, Elaine.
You are your
Take care of
Christmas.
yourselves.
That was great.
You're
Thank
a
you so
Christmas
much.
gift all year round, Elaine.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
Elaine,
Merry
amazing.
Christmas,
Thank you very, very
everybody.
much. Your help is amazing.
Yeah.
You're a great group.
Happy
Thanks
holidays.
so much,
Thank you,
Elaine.
Elaine. Merry
And if you're
Christmas.
traveling,
Happy
watch out for
Happy
the
holidays.
idiots on the
Yeah.
road.
Watch
And
out.
if you're traveling, and if you're traveling, watch out for the idiots on the road.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a lot of unhappiness, and there's a lot of substitute additions to people's unhappiness that can make them.
Self-medication.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Don't forget to take your COVID test and keep each other safe, because that's still an issue.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And keep your chin up.
Yep.
Can